intercept is going to go to Pettiford, who steps on the sideline. Joe Lindsay, Vlad Boyard-Tadal, and Jim Hartness will be calling the game tonight, as the first whistle of the night will be an out-of-bounds on Tahaad Pettiford, and Oklahoma State will get the first crack on offense.
You saw that little sly smile from Pettiford. Like, that ball wasn't out of bounds.
Yeah. No, not at all.
It would have been out of bounds even if he wore a size 9.5. He was on that line there. But Oklahoma State will get it here. Fun to watch how these guys mesh together tonight.
All right, there is Curry working against Pettiford as Auburn opens in man-to-man defense. Falla back out to Curry. Curry trying to drive it to his right. That's Roy, and he dumps it inside for an uncontested lay-in by Parsa Falla.
Yeah, Falla all-conference at Oregon State. Don't know what conference Oregon State was in last year, but he was all-conference for the Beavers.
He averaged 9.5 and 4 rebounds for the Oregon State Beavers. Now a team, as you said, Lance, without a conference. Here's Pettiford on the offensive end for the Tigers. Quickly, Overton with a three-point attempt, and that one will not fall, and Jennings pulls down the board for the Cowboys. Roy had it go off his hands. He just looked away, and it goes out of bounds. First turnover of the night for Oklahoma State.
I'm more interested in watching Auburn defensively tonight. That Auburn team that went to the Final Four, so known for their defensive identity over the last couple of years with Caldwell and Broom down low. Let's see what this Auburn team looks like defensively. We get a sneak peek tonight.
Hall thought about pulling the trigger on the three. Now he's going to drive it on the baseline. Nice look, but that shot is swatted away. Great block by Robert Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings, a guy that you said the only returning starter for the Cowboys, 35 starts last year.
The drive will not go for Curry, but the follow by Falla. He's got all 4 points in tonight's game. Quickly back for the Tigers. Here is Freeman off the glass. Will go but a whistle.
Jim mentioned this pace, and Steve Lutz in year 2 really wants to get this offense going. 201st in scoring offense, only 73 points per game last year for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Here's a replay on the block down low. Think you got a bucket, and no, sir, it gets knocked away here. As you said, they're rebuilding this with speed and offense through the transfer portal, but they love the defensive tempo because Lutz coached under Greg McDermott and Matt Painter. McDermott's a tough physical type coach. He loves that physical defensive style.
Yeah, and back to Lutz, a guy that really, you talk about earning your stripes. We hear stories about coaches that fall forward. This guy, it took him 30 years to get his first big-time job. 1 year at Western Kentucky, they win the conference championship 2 years ago, and then last year his first at Oklahoma State.
Both free throws will not go for Elijah Freeman. Oklahoma State already up 4-0. Trying to get it back out to Falla. Got away from him for a moment. Avoids the backcourt. But now Falla driving to the basket. And he can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Keyshawn Hall. The UCF transfer. His first game in an Auburn uniform. And a whistle.
You know, the missed free throws gets rid of a stat I wanted to tell you guys about. It was way back in the day against Long Beach State, the last time Auburn played a game where they were 100% from free throws. 2011 against Long Beach State.
You were holding on to that just in case.
Not going to happen tonight. I was hoping that we'd get a perfect free throw night.
Yeah, I think Elijah Freeman, not sure how well he shoots free throws. Probably a little nerves first time hitting the line.
Maybe so. Hall can't get it to go, and the rebound pulled down by Falla. And driving the baseline with a reverse is Jalen Curry, the UMass transfer. Gets his first bucket of the game. And it is 6-0 Oklahoma State. There is Keyshawn Hall off to Overton. Overton dumps it inside, backing it down. Is Keyshawn Murphy. And now here is Keyshawn Hall for the three. He drains it and is fouled.
Now you mentioned Keyshawn Hall, a guy that transfers in from the Big 12, and in this matchup, he loves seeing these Oklahoma State colors. Last year scored a season-high 35 points against Oklahoma State, averaged almost 19 and 7 against Oklahoma State last year.
A 36% shooter from beyond the arc, which I would say is the best returning three-point shooter for Auburn. It's not because he played at UCF, but that is what Pettiford was last year, who is Auburn's best returning three-point shooter. So Hall adding some pop from outside, and he completes the four-point play. That cuts it to 2. Here Here is Jalen Curry in the offensive court, able to dribble it right past Overton. Now on the forward court, that is Mandukas, who has just checked in. Back out to Curry. And there's Roy. Roy can't get it to go. He goes to the floor. And that's going to be a turnover. Auburn will take possession.
That's the kind of rim protection you took for granted really with Broom and Cardwell over the years. So good to see that Auburn defensive perimeter defense there.
Oak State a little slow getting down the floor, and Overton was on the drive when he got fouled. So he'll go to the free throw stripe where he's a 78% shooter last year at Texas Tech.
Yeah, back to it last year, you know, when there is Steve Lutz in year 2, but back to rim protection. You know, Cardwell was one of those guys last year. Broom, obviously, your SEC player of the year.
You're seeing Cardwell already making an impact in NBA exhibition games. He's getting it done. But Broom is, I mean, he's been playing so long for Auburn. Yeah, I know it's a new group of players, but even the coaching staff, you got to get used to having somebody else come up with the 18 points and 14 rebounds that he averaged. You could just lean on him to smooth the edges all season long. So if you're Stephen Pearl and that veteran coaching staff, you're looking for somebody, one or two people, to sort of smooth the edges like Broom did throughout his time at Auburn.
Overton converts both, and it's a tie game, 6-6 here. Early on at Ballin and Boutwell. Auburn Tigers facing the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Aggressive defense by Pettiford. Ball goes in the backcourt, but it was all Pettiford's hands. And Roy was able to chase it down, and now a whistle as Roy was on his way to the basket.
Pretty tenacious D early for an exhibition game.
No doubt about it. Tahaad Pettiford extending the defense, trying to create the turnover. He does pick up the foul in the process.
38 is a new look from Filip Jovic, who is he's a Serbian player who's come over, played a little pro ball, as you can over in Europe, and then come play college ball in the U.S. So the physicality that he's seeing in a game like this, he'll fit in naturally playing that European-style basketball.
Yeah, and Oklahoma State's got a couple of those guys, too.
Yeah, they've got an international roster, no doubt. Not international is Jalen Curry. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he got the floater to go, the UMass transfer.
Made in the USA.
Puts Oklahoma State up 8-6. Just about 4 minutes into action here. There on the perimeter is Williams-Adams. Off to Pettiford. He's going to pull the trigger on a three. Can't get it to fall. The rebound goes to Oklahoma State. Coming out of there with it for the Cowboys.
Pettiford with that nice lefty stroke. You mentioned Curry for Oklahoma State. They've got 3 lefties in the backcourt.
Wow.
You don't see a lot of that.
That is pretty odd, isn't it? Here is Coleman, Isaiah Coleman. His first action of the night. He throws it away. He was trying to get it to Falla. Falla could not hold on to it. And Muschelik comes out of there with the loose ball. Now a tie-up in the paint with Jovic, and he'll kick it back out wisely to Kevin Overton, who'll reset the offense and pull the three from long distance. In and out, no good, and Coleman with the rebound. Now Coleman's going to push it, and a foul on the Tigers. The first block charge of the season goes against Auburn's Kevin Overton. He'll pick up the foul, and we'll have free throws after the media timeout. It is 10-6, Oklahoma State early on, Ballin and Boutwell, preseason basketball. Maybe a little bit of a regular season feel. SEC will finish with.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, tournament teams, of course, last year, you go down Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama 4, Arkansas, Auburn there at number 6. But look at the names behind you. Ole Miss with Chris Beard, Texas, Mississippi State. Good teams. That's how deep the SEC is again.
Man, it's hard to believe only the 3rd time Florida's been the preseason favorite since 1989. We know in 2007 when everybody came back from that national championship team, they were favored there. But Todd Golden, obviously you're reigning national champions right now in Gainesville.
I'm sure it broke the heart of the Oklahoma State fans watching us to see Oklahoma at the bottom of that graphic. Coming out of the timeout, here are the Tigers. And Hall back on offense. He gets it to go, and we'll shoot free throws. Mo Finley with us as well. He was in the Oklahoma State huddle. What'd you hear, Mo?
Well, fellas, Coach Lutz is imploring his guys to continue to play transition defense. Do not. He mentioned they gave up several points just because they weren't paying attention. Screaming like crazy like every coach in America. Pay attention. It's real easy. On the other side, the offensive side of the ball, just move the basketball, play together. No need for one.
Not his first game coached here in Birmingham. Steve Lutz was the head coach of the Texas A&M Corpus Christi team that went on a tournament run, got in the NCAA tournament, got through the play-in game, and came here to Birmingham to face what was that year the overall #1 seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide. They lost that day, 96-75. But back in 2023, Steve Lutz coached next door here in Birmingham at Legacy Arena.
Until I think I'm correct about this. I don't think he lost a conference tournament game at Corpus Christi or at Western Kentucky until he got to Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
that's how he got in the big dance.
In a conference tournament,
yeah. Conference tournament. Yeah, that's how he got to the big dance.
That's pretty impressive. Again, a guy that coached for 30 years to get to this point.
Now, Oklahoma State fans that are watching us, they've lived what Auburn's going through right now, and Auburn fans hope that it turns out a little bit better. Legendary coach Eddie Sutton coached for a long time like Bruce Pearl did, and then they turned it over to Sean Sutton for a couple of years and quickly moved on to Travis Ford, who's third all-time in wins for them. So it's not always an easy transition father to son in the coaching circles. Auburn hopes it goes really, really well.
Sloppy ball handling at midcourt, and Roy can't get the three to go. And here comes Auburn back on offense. Tahaad Pettiford back in the game for the Tigers. He'll shoot the turnaround. It will not fall, and Oak State back on the attack. Here comes Jalen Curry. Dumps it outside. The three will not fall. Nice tip out, but it goes right to Auburn. Losing his footing is Pettiford. So here comes Oak State back. Roy with a pump fake. He's going to drive, and he wanted to kick it back out to Coleman, but he throws it away. It looked like Pettiford touched it, which avoided the backcourt violation, but now you got 15 seconds on the shot clock. We've got a stoppage of play. I don't know if Pettiford touched it. If he did not, it's a backcourt violation.
Yeah, I don't think he did touch it in that situation.
Yeah, that's why they stopped play. They're talking about it here, and this is going to be Auburn's basketball.
Yeah, Stephen Pearl, you're not going to see guys get animated really in exhibition basketball, but he is animated on that call.
And one thing he's concerned about right now is Tahaad Pettiford's a little bit shaken up.
That's what I was going to get to. When Pettiford went down, lost the handle, every Auburn fan in here that's watching this held their breath, because there's your preseason all-conference, preseason all-American guy. And in an exhibition game, he was on the hardwood for a moment.
We called an exhibition game up in Huntsville last year at Von Braun, and they host a hockey team there, and obviously there was moisture coming through the floor. So you understood there was some issues last year. A lot of guys have hit the court. A lot of guys on the deck so far.
And Pettiford almost did there again, but he's able to recover and misses the shot. But now he's going to shoot free throws. He's on the floor a lot. Stephen Pearl may let Pettiford watch some basketball here in a little while. You know what this guy can do.
Yeah, you're right. You know what you've got in Tahaad Pettiford. I mean, a guy that a lot of people believe was going to come out in the 2025 NBA draft. Auburn fans super excited that he decides to come back for his sophomore year.
Yeah, that's one of those where you're in the landing zone there, and that's the scary kind, right?
That's right.
When the defender sneaks accidentally, of course, into the landing zone. You get that foul call there. That's where you can
turn that ankle.
Yeah, hurt that ankle.
Yeah, knee situation.
Pettiford, an 80% free throw shooter last year, and makes his first. Guy gets a lot of free throws because he's going to the basket a lot.
Yeah, 80's a good clip, but wanting to work on that number, continue to get better and better from the stripe, especially with how physical he is for his size.
Philip Jovic checks in for the Auburn Tigers as Pettiford shoots his second free throw. And he makes them both.
Both these schools, Nike schools, everybody's got their Nikes on out there, and our friends at Hibbett's, they're bringing you ballin' at Boutwell again this year.
Fun event, expanded this year, just one game last year. But a couple ladies games, Alabama A&M and Samford played last night. Tomorrow night, right here on this same Hibbett YouTube channel, the Alabama Crimson Tide facing Florida State. A whistle as Coleman was taking the shot, and he'll get some free throws. Elijah Freeman picks up his first personal foul.
Freeman's a 13-8-3 guy from Lincoln Memorial, so he'll spread the sheet out all over the place, plays good defense, and got tagged with a foul that he as everybody does, was wondering, did I really make contact there? He's a guy that they're so excited about coming in. Plays a little forward, can play guard. He can play a little 3, can play a little 2, can play a little 4. They move him all around the floor.
All right, there was another Coleman we were hoping to see tonight, Christian Coleman, former UAB forward. Guy that played right here in Birmingham, not playing tonight. I guess you got a little heads
Yeah,
up on that.
he's got a little injury situation. I don't know if this were a regular season game, if you would see Christian Coleman. I got the sense maybe you would. But in a preseason game, especially the first one, no reason to risk that. Unfortunate, though. The Winsboro, Louisiana native, a transfer from UAB. A lot of people would like to have seen him play here tonight for Oklahoma State.
Would have helped our numbers. He's got 13 brothers and sisters.
That's right. We'll take all we can get. Here is Keyshawn Murphy, another Birmingham guy, the Mississippi State transfer. Off to Freeman in the corner now. Freeman, nice looking bounce to Murphy. Murphy cut off and shoots an air ball. The rebound out to Overton. Overton on the runner. He cannot get it to go. Rebound to Jovic. Jovic can't get it to go, but he is fouled. Auburn is shooting 21% right now.
And missing a lot of chippies. And, you know, this is one of these situations. We're mid-October basketball. You know, you roll around the calendar once we get into conference play, probably a lot of those shots are going down.
Yeah, 27 rebounds between the two teams.
That's a lot of misses.
A lot of people are missing right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, Auburn is one of their last 10. Oak State does not have a field goal in the last 2:24 of this game. That free throw, though, is good by Jovic. Jim mentioned he's from Bosnia and Herzegovina, a 6'8", 225-pound freshman.
Never been.
Jovic. You've never been to Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Never. I will tell you, we don't need a shot clock tonight.
No, we do not.
Turn that thing off.
Yes, I don't think you'll see that in single digits. Jovic makes them both. Good looking free throw strike. Attempts for him. That makes it 25-19. Auburn cutting back into this lead, but either team desperate for a field goal right now. Roy has it stripped by Pettiford. Quick hands by Pettiford. And out it goes to Keyshawn Murphy. Murphy loses it for a moment, able to get his dribble back. Here's Pettiford. He's left open. And he gets the three to fall.
How many times do you see that, right? Good defensive play, giving the ball, hits a three, gets into the flow really well.
Oh, yeah, the rotation on that ball, too. Pettiford, one of the best players in college basketball.
Coleman trying to silence the crowd. He can't get it to go. Saved back in bounds for a moment by Overton, but they'll say it bounced back out of bounds off Jovic. Here's another look at what Pettiford does so well for this Tigers team.
Yeah, rotation is tight. Bottom of the sack there, came off of a good defensive play, and then he disrupted the shot in the corner at the other end. So it was defense, offense, defense again. That's why he was a All-American for the freshman team last year.
One of the best returning players in America. Curry was left alone, and now he's just going to drive it in, but he cannot get it to go. Rebound fought for, and Auburn comes away with it. Here comes Freeman. Freeman wanted to go coast to coast, now back out to Overton, who drains the three. And all of a sudden, the Auburn Tigers are heating up from the field with back-to-back made threes to cut it to three.
No surprise, sounds like Neville North, right?
It does. Only a couple thousand fans here, but they're making some noise as the Tigers have tied it up. And now Steve Lutz wants to talk it over with his team. So the Auburn Tigers all of a sudden red hot from outside. An 8-0 run over the last minute, 5 seconds has tied this game up. The Auburn Tigers and the Oklahoma State Cowboys knotted at 25 here in Birmingham.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, from the mid. It's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They say she
better than that.
Her drip so weak, it can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's top tier.
Angel Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot.
It is Ballin' and Boutwell, presented by Nike and Hibbett Sports, along with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Mo Finley. I'm Ryan Brown. Take a look at the AP Top 25 preseason poll. If you're an Auburn Tiger fan, you'll see a lot of these names on your schedule.
Number 1, you play them. Number 2, you play them. Number 3, you play them. A lot of other ones in the top 25.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, you mentioned Matt Painter earlier in the broadcast, the job he's been able to do in West Lafayette, Kelvin Sampson, Todd Golden, Dan Hurley, Rick Pitino. I mean, just a who's who of coaches right there.
You get to play Michigan out at the Eras in Las Vegas later on. I mean, all the top teams are on the Auburn schedule. It's been a philosophy in the SEC to schedule better, and that helped get so many teams into the tournament last year.
The Tigers forced a turnover right out at the timeout. The Houston game, November 16th, next door here at Legacy Arena here in Birmingham. As Jim mentioned, Oregon and Las Vegas, Michigan and Las Vegas, Purdue and Indianapolis. You play Florida in your SEC schedule down in Gainesville, the defending national champions. It's a tough schedule, as most are in the SEC. The 3 will not fall, and the Cowboys come away with the rebound. This is Jalen Curry.
I know they didn't get the 3 there, but coming out of the timeout, it was really good with Bruce Pearl. They were always good defensively and offensively out of timeouts, and they were great coming out of that timeout and got the turnover, and now they're in transition.
Yeah, Pettiford got a good look there. It went in and out. Obviously one of the best at creating his own shot.
Freeman couldn't get the runner to go. Now Roy going to try to go coast to coast, and he lays it in.
Yeah, this Roy kid, again,
he can play.
He led the NCAA in scoring through 7 games at Green Bay last year, averaging almost 26 points per game.
And there is Elijah Freeman on the drive, and he will head to the free throw stripe.
And Dunaway, you mentioned Freeman, one of these guys that Stephen Pearl intending to pick up the slack, the scoring slack that you lost, with 5 starters gone off a team that won 32 games last year. 18-8
here in Birmingham, Alabama, that is in its 2nd year, and hopefully will continue. It has grown this year, and is an excellent exhibition of basketball here in Birmingham. Guetta made that 2nd free throw to tie us up at 33. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
Another one of those 22-year-old freshmen. When we talk about the international players from Israel.
Pettiford, step back 3 will not fall. And the rebound goes to the Cowboys. This is Guetta again. Thought about driving in the paint, decided not to, and now Coleman. He has been very active offensively, and Coleman lays it in. He has got 15 points in tonight's action. Pettiford dumps it off in the corner. That is Keyshawn Hall. And now Hall goes to the basket. A lot of contact, no foul. Now a whistle as the loose ball comes out, and it will go against the Cowboys.
Do you guys see the visitor and home radio teams?
I
the
do.
Broadcast teams?
Yeah.
Nope. They're up here.
Oh.
In these 2 booths up top. This is like Cameron Indoor Duke.
Oh, wow.
They're having to broadcast up in the rafters.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably the first time basketball has ever been broadcasted from those booths.
Booth R and Booth P.
Yeah.
Good look at the broadcast crews getting a bird's eye view of things.
That's the Oklahoma State crew there. Andy Burcham and the Auburn crew on the other side as we play here in beautiful Boutwell Auditorium that has been here in Birmingham for what seems like forever. Hosted a lot of events, including pro wrestling back in the day. LT will tell us about more of those as we move throughout the evening.
101 years this facility has been here.
We will see who has seen the most random concert in this building. All 3 of us have seen concerts here.
I think I saw Molly Hatchet here one time.
That's pretty random. I bet mine wins a little bit later on when we talk about.
I will tell you, better ventilation in here. When I was here, the contact high I got as an 11-year-old. Never forget it.
What a night, huh? You see the contact is Curry. 0-on-0 there went against Pettiford.
You just transitioned with the word contact.
I did. Curry will shoot free throws. Not his strength. He was only a 65.9% free throw shooter last year, and that one is in and out. A guy that touches the ball as much as him, you need him to shoot the ball a little better from the stripe.
Yeah, absolutely, especially, in that backcourt, another one of these lefties we talk about. But, yeah, those numbers not good. 13 points per game last year and three assists for the Minutemen.
And the UMass transfer gets the second one to fall. Now here is Tahaad Pettiford, as his team trails by 2. That one knocked away, another Auburn turnover, and now another Oklahoma State turnover as they travel right after getting the steal.
Pettiford 1 of 5 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3 to start things off, only 5 points. Not the Todd Pettiford you saw most of the season in the big games, especially the NCAA tournament in the 4 wins that got them to another Final Four. Pettiford was just simply fire, averaging about 17 a game in that run.
Yeah, Pettiford was incredible in that run, and
he couldn't get that 3 to go, Lance, but the follow after the missed dunk goes to Keyshawn Murphy. And now Auburn, playing aggressive defense, creates another Oklahoma State turnover, their 10th of the night.
Yeah, sloppy basketball there from Oklahoma State, wanting to close out this half on a high, but boy, that was a just kind of lost his thought process there.
A little lackadaisical, yeah. So Auburn now looking to retake the lead. Here is the drive by Hall. He can't get it to go. And Roy back on the offensive end for the Cowboys. 3 on the way, and it is good for Jalen Curry. We mentioned the UMass transfer, 30% three-point shooter for the Minutemen last year.
He can't hit the free throws. It's deep
right.
3, though.
Hey, the 3's worth more. Here is Hall. He gets the screen from Murphy, and he can't get the runner to fall, but he's going to shoot free throws. Keyshawn Hall will go to the stripe, where he was an 81% free throw shooter for UCF last season.
Great player out of the Big 12 last year, and again, this is the guy that loves to fill it up.
Another look at Jalen Curry's 3.
Let's ask our guard, Mo Finley. Mo, if you can hear me, man, is this a good shooting venue? It's small and everything. It's so unique and different than what the guys play in on a week-in, week-out basis in the SEC and the Big 12. Mo, is this a good shooting venue?
You know what, man? Shooting in different spaces can definitely create some problems with depth perception, but ultimately, man, that basket's 10 feet and that ball's round. It's got to go in, especially when you're open.
Did you just ask Mo Finley if it's a bad shooting video? That guy likes shooting everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Salty veteran, too.
Mo, you never saw a place you didn't want to shoot.
He gave me a coach's answer, though.
I know.
My goodness. Mo, is this a good venue or not a good venue?
Listen, I'm open now. It's a great venue, man. Ultimately, you got to be able to make shots. Shoot and shoot.
Yeah, and Mo could flat do it, my man. Here is Curry. He gets the screen from Vukovic. Can't get it to go. Rebound out to Roy after touching a few Auburn hands. And it will go out of bounds, and the Tigers will take over.
I'm just saying, Bo, at one end, we've got to where Oklahoma State's shooting right here in the first half. We've got a stage and a deep black nothingness behind the rim over here where I guess the bands were during concerts. That's a unique background. Alabama actually played Oklahoma State in an arena like this, much bigger, but with a stage on it at an NCAA tournament back in the day where Eddie Sutton beat David Hobbs' Alabama team back in an NCAA tournament.
That was the Big Country Bryant Reeves era. There is a three-pointer by Keyshawn Murphy.
But it had an empty stage behind one of the rims there, too.
That 3 gave the Tigers a 1-point lead, and the answer will not fall for Mandzukic. And here comes Auburn trying to build on that lead. Nice look to Pettiford, and the reverse goes for Tahaad Pettiford.
Yeah. Murphy had an opportunity there and was unselfish, gave it up for Pettiford.
Vukovic off to Roy. Roy trying to shake Freeman, and he's having a tough time doing it. Now Roy, as Murphy rotates out on him. Roy takes Murphy to the basket. Wow. What a nice drive by Anthony Roy, who's had a nice half of basketball. He's now got 10.
Yeah, Roy, boy, I tell you, can absolutely, I mean, inside, outside, physical, everything you want in a big guard.
I got to tell you, Oklahoma State fans got to be excited as they foul on the screen. Oklahoma State fans, I think, have to be excited by what they've seen from both Roy and Coleman. 10 from Roy, 15 to lead all scorers from Coleman. That's a pretty good one, too.
Oh, absolutely. Jim, I'll be very formal with you again. Do you know what Anthony Roy's big hobby is outside of scoring when he's on the court?
Curling.
Just for the late James Sr., he's a big bowler.
Oh, wow.
Does he have a 300 game?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got a 300 game. I know he has a domestic short-haired cat named Phoenix, for whatever that's worth.
But you don't know if he's got a 300
I
game.
don't.
Okay.
Oh, I love
Great
that.
name for a cat.
Yeah.
Phoenix the cat, and he loves to pick up 7-10 splits. I love that.
Never would have had that on the old bingo card.
Murphy, not a tremendous free throw shooter at Mississippi State, a career 63%.
But, Ferd and Keyshawn Hall together, both of those guys will start the second half, and we'll see how many minutes they get in this final 20 minutes.
Pettiford with 7. Hall led Auburn in scoring with 12 in the first half. Here is Bashir. And now Pettiford, who gets the screen from Keyshawn Murphy. The Tigers will be one of the nation's leaders in Keyshawn. Both of them playing a huge role for Auburn. Pettiford back out to Bashir after the miss. And Bashir has it knocked away. And it goes out of bounds off Ryan Crotty. Crotty trying to sell that he didn't touch it. But he cannot sell Joe Lindsay on that.
The same starters are out there minus Kevin Overton, who's a forward guard, more of a traditional guard, and Bashir, who gets the start of the second half in his place.
Abdul Bashir, a junior college transfer. He scored 27 points a game in junior college action. A missed 3 by Pettiford, and again, a bit of a scary foul for him, as it's one of those, like you mentioned earlier, Jim, that the landing perimeter wasn't there for him, and he went to the floor.
And that's what the official indicated there with his signal, is that it was a landing zone foul. Didn't hit him with the upper body, but in the landing zone. It's a safety concern.
The reason I say it's scary is those are extremely scary fouls. You see a lot of turned ankles and things of that nature on that type of foul. The first free throw is good. Take another look at it. This is what we're talking about here.
It's the reason guys at the gym don't play with me, because I don't allow them to land on the court.
The reason I don't play anymore. Honestly.
Pettiford, second of 3 is good.
I'm going to go shoes of the night for Tahaad Pettiford.
Those are colorful. There is no doubt. Those Nikes, one of our presenting sponsors here, are very colorful. All 3 fall for Tahaad Pettiford, the sophomore sensation for Auburn. 80% free throw shooter last year. Smooth as silk at the line there, and the Tigers lead it by 2.
Anthony Roy so involved in this offense for Oklahoma State in the first half. I want to see Ryan Crotty, though. I want to see the freshman, 6'6", his ability to shoot the eyes out of it, see him get involved in this second half.
He is in jersey number 24 for Oklahoma State. That's who Lance is talking about. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What a drive by Anthony Roy. This guy has got some ability for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Yeah, shot 43% behind the arc. You know he can shoot it, and we talked about averaging over 4 threes per game made, but his ability to get to the rim right there, very impressive.
Nice ball movement on the perimeter. Murphy passes up the 3, will drive in for the intermediate shot. Rebound tipped by Curry, and it goes out to Bashir, and now Pettiford will reset the offense for the Tigers. Pettiford, the jump back 3 will not fall. Rebound fought for. Crotty is on the floor. He was fighting for it with Freeman. Oklahoma State comes away with it, and here comes Roy. We've already seen what he can do, but he has it knocked away by Pettiford, another Oklahoma State turnover.
Yeah, sloppy play continues first minute 45 seconds here at Boutwell.
Now Freeman kicks it back out to Bashir. Bashir going to take it with a runner, and he lays it in.
A guy that averaged over 27 points per game at Casper College in Wyoming, a Division I high, 131 threes made, but taking it to the rack right there for Bashir.
And that's his first bucket in an Auburn Tiger uniform, albeit preseason. Loose ball, and the Tigers on the floor fighting for it. And it will be ruled out of bounds off of Auburn, so Oklahoma State will maintain possession.
I have not seen this many people hit the floor in the first 20 minutes and change of the second half.
Yeah, if we were in the middle of conference play, you'd celebrate it, right?
Yeah.
And the first preseason game, you kind of want to see them stay on their feet.
Yeah, I'm sure, Steve Lutz and Stephen Pearl are probably like, what the heck's going on here?
But last time the Gap Band played here in Boutwell was the last time this many people hit the floor when they dropped a bomb on you on the dance floor.
82, 83.
Did you see that concert?
I did not.
Okay.
We'll get to some of those historic concerts in this venue.
Keyshawn Hall whistled for the foul for the Auburn Tigers. That is his third personal foul.
When's the last time you've been to a college basketball game that had a disco ball right over center court?
Oh, I like that. I had not noticed it until you just pointed it out.
Did not notice. But I haven't been to a college basketball game with a MC in a while.
That's a good point. There's the disco ball. We only use that in overtime.
We'll be counting down to the new year of college basketball a little bit later on.
Here is Jalen Curry at the stripe. 65% free throw shooter last year at UMass, and he gets the first one to go.
I do have to know who put the ball in here.
That's a good question. I had not noticed that. Leave it to Dunaway to find the ball.
I'm told that area high schools some have their proms here inside Powell Auditorium.
Okay, so does it drop down?
It is a bit high.
This is an Easter egg. I want to know. I want to know what the meaning behind the ball is.
Yes. Curry makes the second free throw, and it's a tie game, 47 all.
Do you guys foresee Pettiford and Hall and these guys getting a lot of minutes tonight?
I did not foresee them getting as many as they have. Pettiford has played 15 minutes now in this game. Keyshawn Hall, who just went to the bench, has played just about the same. That is Keyshawn Murphy, and he could not hold on to it. Curry comes away with it, kicks it back out, corner three on the way. Will not fall for Crotty. Lance, you wanted to see him shoot some. He couldn't get that one to go.
That's one of the reasons that not only Oklahoma State go after Crotty, this was a guy that a lot of people recruited, including Clemson, Miami, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia.
Too many chances there at getting too many offensive rebounds that time for Oklahoma State.
And Jennings got the last chance and made the most of it for his first bucket of the night. And that gives Oklahoma State the 2-point lead, 49-47. Now a whistle on the floor. Will go against the Cowboys.
Understandable there is going to be, some shaky play early on, but Pettiford, one of those guys that, at times, Dunaway, you said, was very consistent last year. There was some streakiness about his game, which you think probably rounds a little bit more into shape this year, but basketball does not fall in tonight for Tahaad Pettiford.
Yeah, I remember talking to him specifically after the early exit for the SEC champs from Nashville in the SEC tournament. And he was distraught in the post-game locker room that he didn't have the shooting night that he usually had. But he made up for it in the NCAA tournament, those first 4 games, to punch the ticket to San Antonio for the Auburn Tigers in the Final Four.
All-South regional honors last year for Tahaad Pettiford. In that run you were talking about, 17 points per game in the 4 wins, leading up to the Final Four.
Jennings whistled for the foul as he and Keyshawn Murphy got tangled up there. Murphy didn't much appreciate it, swatted his arm away after the whistle. Now here is Murphy back out to Pettiford. Pettiford, nice move, pull up just inside the free throw shot, will not fall for him. And now a fight for the basketball.
Those are typically high percentage shots for Tahaad Pettiford. And you can see midcourt right now just kind of going through the motions. And he knows, just not falling right now, but he will continue to shoot.
Manjukas and Sebastian Williams-Adams fought for this basketball. Preseason, guys, preseason. They're not playing like it.
It'll be quite a cage match.
Look at them. I like it.
Sizing each other up afterwards, too.
Yeah.
You never know. These two teams may meet again in the NCAA tournament at a venue somewhere else in America.
Absolutely could.
Minus the disco ball.
This Oklahoma State team trying to get back to their NCAA tournament ways. They used to be such a stalwart there in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you'd look, see, are they a 1 seed, 2 seed?
Yeah. NIT last year, again, not where this program expects to be, and Steve Lutz trying to fix that.
But look at who they beat. They beat number 9 Iowa State at the end, then they beat Wichita State and SMU in the NIT to make a run there. So they got really good at the end of last year. Now it's a whole new roster.
Whole new roster, but I will tell you, Anthony Roy, who's got the basketball right now, this guy will be known.
That is Crotty on the drive, and he is fouled. It appears the foul is going to go against Sebastian Williams-Adams.
Yeah, Crotty, 247 made threes his last 2 years in high school, winning back-to-back state championships. The pride of Holly Springs, North Carolina.
He's going to shoot free throws here.
You know, this program at Oklahoma State, Henry Iba, 1934 to 1970, he was the coach of this program.
Wow.
That's a
great
long
run.
time.
Quite the run. Started
Yeah.
with the peach basket, finally got the breakaway rim by the end of it.
So 36 years he's the head coach. And then Eddie Sutton eventually takes over and goes from 1990 to 2006. But 90 to 2006 doesn't sound as long as 34 to 1970, does it?
I saw a few wars.
Iba's the winningest coach, Eddie Sutton second. Then you go to Travis Ford.
Williams Adams on the drive, and he gets it to go. He's played some nice minutes for this Auburn team tonight, 14 minutes. He's got 5 points, and now a whistle going against the Tigers. Mo Finley is on the court for us. We'll check in with him and see what happens in the huddles when we return. Excellent preseason basketball action as we head to the first media timeout of the second half. Stephen Pearl, first time coaching as the Auburn head coach full time. His team trails it by 1, 50 to 49. Oklahoma State leads the Auburn Tigers.
Extended rest to these guys. Playing a lot of players as you expect in an exhibition game, but both of these staffs want to play 10, 11 deep. That's sort of their personality.
Right.
So these guys that are playing a lot of minutes tonight, they're going to be called on when the games count to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, Jim, and I think it's the pace. I mean, you've got to be able to go deep on this bench.
So here is Kevin Overton at the stripe at Texas Tech. Overton shot 78% from beyond the arc. Or excuse me, from the, that would be something, from the free throw stripe. He's 2 of 2 tonight, now 3 of 3.
Another thing you get in an exhibition game, you know, a lot of these portal guys have come in and we recruited you, but we don't know what you're going to be like when you put on our uniform and you play in front of cameras and under the lights, in front of fans and families, until you get in a game like this. So both coaching staffs watching their players here and how they handle the game lights.
Yeah, and that's what's been so impressive with Anthony Roy, Isaiah Coleman, you know, Elijah Freeman for the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn fans trying to cheer on their team as the free throws cut it back to 6. Here is Roy. He's been one of the offensive stars. Step back 3 will not fall. Rebound and a whistle on the floor as Jennings goes crashing to the floor. The Tigers will pick up the foul, and we will head to a media timeout. Oklahoma State leads the Auburn Tigers 58-52. Isaiah Coleman has been tremendous for Oklahoma State tonight. 7 of 10 from the field, 7 of 7 from the stripe, 21 points, 5 boards. He leads all scorers, and he's led his Cowboys to a 6-point lead midway through the second half. Ranked, Oklahoma State's Big 12 conference has a few too.
Lance, if I said the Big 12 was the best conference in basketball until last year when the SEC pushed them aside, true statement?
I think you could definitely make that argument. And the interesting thing is you look at the top 25, the Big 12 teams that are represented in the AP preseason top 25. Kansas, that just dominated that conference for so long, and then you see teams like Houston and BYU coming into this conference, and now Kansas.
Baylor not in the top 25 anymore?
Yeah, Kansas not their dominant league anymore.
BYU team is an interesting team. Certainly a roster that cost a little bit.
A little bit.
Long inbound pass, great defense by Auburn, but Roy able to track it down for Oklahoma State. Freeman trying to knock it away from behind, but Roy gets it off to Curry. Curry has scored 10 points in 17 minutes, starting point guard for the Cowboys.
Could we have a shot clock violation coming up?
Hey, I told you I could see it in single digits at least once. Shot does not go, and Pettiford comes away with it for the Tigers. He's going to try to take it all the way himself. What a nice move in the paint by Tahaad Pettiford. Pettiford's got 12, and showing why he was a national all-freshman last year.
Yeah, Jim mentioned the run to the Final Four and how good Pettiford was in that region.
And that one goes right to him, and now he's going to work with Coleman. Oh, what a nice defensive play by Coleman. But a whistle. Coleman knocked it away from Pettiford. Pettiford goes crashing to the floor.
Foul. Yeah, where did we get the foul there? I thought it was a clean pick.
I thought it was a clean pick. Take a look at Pettiford. The block, and now Pettiford takes it coast to coast.
Yeah, that move and then the finish at the rim, that's what you want from Pettiford, because they're going to come out and play him on the outside to take away the outside shot. His ability to get to the rim is what separates him from most of the other freshmen in the country last year, and that's why he was a freshman All-American.
I mean, it plays so much bigger with his elevation, athleticism, the up and under there.
Pettiford makes the first free throw. He is now 6 of 6 from the stripe. I mentioned he was an 80% free throw shooter as a freshman. As much as he touches the ball and drives to the basket, he's going to shoot a lot of free throws for the Auburn Tigers this year. And so far tonight, 6 of 6, exactly what Stephen Pearl wants to see out of his star sophomore. Boy, those don't touch any iron. So after the 2 made free throws, it is a 2-point game. Jalen Curry as the Auburn fans start to make a little noise for their Tigers here at Bowden. Roy gets the pick from Mandzukic. Roy knocked away for a moment. Now Curry, shot clock down under 10 again. All of a sudden this Auburn defense forcing a little more time off the clock, off the rebound. The putback will not go for Coleman, but he's fouled.
Yeah, and a bad shot for Curry. You know, they let the shot clock tick down a little bit. Really good defense from the Auburn Tigers and just forced that one up, and really fortunate to be able to get the rebound and get to the stripe here.
Stephen Pearl, if he said it, and Mo will tell us if he said it anymore in the huddle, but I guarantee he's talking about hitting the boards, hitting the boards, hitting the boards. Too many extra shots for Oklahoma State in this game.
Here is Coleman. His free throw didn't move the net. Isaiah Coleman now has 22. He is 8 of 8 from the stripe. Look at the Oklahoma State fans making the trip to Birmingham.
You guys know Marquette, one of the best teams in college basketball last year. Isaiah Coleman, 27-9 against Marquette back in January of last year.
This kid's an exciting player for the Cowboys fans. If this is your first chance to see the transfer from Seton Hall, you have liked what you have seen tonight. They're number 21 in orange. There is Overton. And another turnover. Up to Curry. Curry going to take it all the way to the glass, and he gets it to fall. A couple of bodies go to the floor, and Oklahoma State back up 6. Freeman trying to drive the baseline. He's cut off, but Coleman whistled for the foul.
Hey, another thing that impresses me about Coleman is you talk about conditioning, Jim. And, you know, for us to be middle of October and Coleman to play the minutes he has logged right now.
21, Lance.
He doesn't look fatigued at all.
Not at all. Yeah, 21 of the 30 minutes that he has played so far tonight. Free throw is good by Freeman.
Freeman's got such a slight build, but, I mean, this guy, you can just tell, already so comfortable coming in from Lincoln Memorial.
6'8" is where they list him. But 185, to your point, Lance, in the slight build. Nice touch at the free throw strike to cut it to 4. And here comes Jalen Curry, 62-58. Oklahoma State leads preseason action here at Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham. Ballin' in Boutwell, presented by Hibbett and Nike. Here is Roy. Shot clock climbing down near 10, what a nice move in the paint.
Wow. This backcourt is impressive.
Good defense for about 15 seconds there, halfway through the shot clock, and then they let him scoot out the back door.
Yeah, and I can't decide, Jim, whether or not Steve Lutz is wanting to slow pace just a little bit as far as shot selection, because they're going a little deeper into the shot clock.
Yeah, I think it's just Auburn's defense
Could be.
turned it up a little bit there.
Here comes Roy. He's had a nice night as well. 14 points for the Cowboys. 3 on the way from Jennings. One on fall, out of bounds.
Yeah, Jennings, a guy that started 35 games for Lutz in Oklahoma State last year, really hasn't been involved. Maybe you already know what you're getting from Jennings.
That is a guy, a Texas Tech transfer, was where he came from to Stillwater. That is 6'7", 230-pound senior.
4 of 15 from 3 range for Oklahoma State. 5 of 21 for Auburn so far, with 9 to play in the game. They'll both have better shooting nights than they've had tonight here in the opening.
You know, today's college basketball, people live and die by that perimeter shot. And not good percentages for either one of these teams tonight.
Overton working against Crotty. And now Crotty gets him with the body. And Overton will shoot free throws.
Overton really, really good handle.
It's going to be personal foul number 38, or excuse me, 39. Now number 25 called against Oklahoma State, and it will be Crotty's fourth.
Not to bore our audiences tuning in from all over the place, but when we did this game last year, one of these games, remember, there were no fouls.
I do. There were no foul outs. There were plenty of fouls.
Yeah. No foul outs.
There were no foul outs. That was the game in Huntsville last year that featured Alabama taking on Memphis. One of our officials here tonight was at that game and remembered it very, very well. In fact, when he saw us, I think he gave us an oh no. Vladimir Voyard-Tadal had that game when, for some reason, Nate Oates and Penny Hardaway decided, let's not have anybody foul out tonight.
Yeah, let's get a lot of people some work
Let's get a lot of people some play.
Yeah, we would have gone until midnight tonight.
Yes, in this game. We made sure with our officials tonight that would not be the case, and they assured us there will be foul outs. Free throw is good by Overton, and that cuts it back to 4. Here is Jalen Curry.
This is a set play now. They are slowing it down a little bit here.
Turnaround will not go for Majukas, and Auburn comes away with it. This is Elijah Freeman.
Yeah, Majukas is not a good shot.
And another Auburn turnover. That is going to be turnover number 8 for the Tigers. Here is Curry in the offensive court for Oklahoma State.
They forced 14 turnovers for Oak State.
Roy gets hand-checked by Tahaad Pettiford. And that is going to be personal foul number 4 on Pettiford.
Yeah. That compared to the other contact in this game is like calling speeding on the Audubon. Big target they went after in NIL world because I mean he scored 15 at Seton Hall.
Yeah, I mean this is a guy that was a Big East All freshman back in 2024 when they won an NIT championship. But I think Anthony Roy from Green Bay and Isaiah Coleman, obviously 2 of the big targets for Steve Lutz.
Here is Pettiford. Oh, look at that pass by Pettiford. And Jovic finishes to cut it to 5.
Jovic's first field goal of the night.
And a tremendous assist from the freshman All-American last year, the sophomore sensation, Tahaad Pettiford.
Jovic grabbing his wrist a little bit, or maybe his hamstring a bit too, as he's working that out after that dunk.
Take a look at this pass, boys.
Tried to avoid contact under him, so he hung on the rim for a little bit there, but obviously no technical.
That's some great vision by Pettiford, a great feed to Jovic.
No technical. Who are you, 2004?
Well, there was a time.
He did a full freaking reverse pull-up.
Is there some clouds in here you want to yell at?
Keyshawn Hall misses the first free throw. That's rather newsworthy. Hall, an 81% free throw shooter for his career, dating back to his days at UCF.
Yeah, what's the minute breakdown for Hall? I mean, he seemed much more active in the first half.
He's played 17 minutes tonight, 12 points in 17 minutes for Keyshawn Hall, 5 boards, and makes the second free throw to cut it to 4. It is Ball and Bat Well, presented by Hibbett and Nike, and it has been a tremendous preseason game and atmosphere here at Bowell Auditorium, along with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Mo Finley on the floor. I'm Ryan Brown. 78-74, Oklahoma State leads it with 3 minutes to go here at Bowell Auditorium. That has been
defense definitely stepped up for the Auburn Tigers.
Tremendous defense by Sebastian Williams-Adams, but they're able to get it to Curry, who gets the runner to go.
Wow.
And push it back out to 6.
Yeah, Jalen Curry having a heck of a second half for Oklahoma State.
Pettiford going to get it off to Keyshawn Hall. Hall can't get the runner to go. Had his rebound for a moment and then is fouled from behind. And that foul is going to go against Lefteris Manjukas out of Greece, 6'9", 230-pound freshman.
Yeah, 8 seasons for a club team in the Greek Basketball League, and he's a 22-year-old freshman.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what else. He's a righty, and they've got 3 lefties in the backcourt, but his nickname's Lefty, and he's a righty.
Wait a minute, his nickname's Lefty?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
I don't make this stuff up.
So substitution coming in for them, and we're going to get Robert Jennings checking back in after the foul out. He was a starter.
And Jennings comes back in. Lefteris Manjukas fouls out. So that will end the night for him.
Steve Lutz extended substitution and timeout there. Got a bonus timeout, and Steve Pearl is trying to speed them up a little bit over there. He's talking with the official. You know, Steven's going to end up having to get, you know, he's not used to being up and working the officials. This is all new to him too. This is, you know, how aggressive is he going to be with the officials? How much leeway he's going to get? His dad's was a legendary coach, a veteran. He got a lot of leeway. Is Steven going to get that early on in his career? Likely not.
Missed free throw, and the rebound goes to Roy for Oklahoma State. Here comes Curry.
And I agree with you, Jim. I mean, he is going to have to figure out how he's going to work these officials. I bet he won't sleep tonight trying to figure out how this rotation looks, how these guys play together.
There's the steal by Overton. To the basket, can't get it to go, but he's going to shoot free throws, and now he goes crashing into the gold standard, is helped up by his teammate. But for a moment, he was rolling around on the floor as well.
So another foul out. Second person for the Cowboys to foul out.
Yeah, Manjukas has already fouled out, and now this is going to be number 5 on Jennings, who will finish the night with just 2 points.
Let's put
and 4 boards.
Let's put the clock on Steve Lutz here.
I don't think this is the last person we're going to see foul out.
I don't think so, Lance. You've got Fowler with 4 for Oklahoma State, Pettiford and Hall with 4 for Auburn.
Steve Lutz is taking his time again, and Crotty was slow walking into the scorer's table. This is intentional by the Oklahoma State coach and staff here.
Auburn takes advantage of it as well.
Oh, no, you work it, you get it. It's all part of the gamesmanship. But when Crotty is taking baby steps and a couple of Michael Jackson slides backwards, moonwalking, and then taking more steps to the scorer's table, the official was over there moving him forward.
There's a look at Bruce Pearl, the legendary Auburn coach. Still involved in a game.
And maybe the person I identified as the commissioner from the SEC. Upon further review, Greg Sankey not in the building tonight.
Might be news to Greg Sankey that he was here.
Hopefully he's watching.
Free throw by Overton. I'm certain he's not.
Are we sure Greg's not here?
Yes.
It wasn't him setting by Bruce, though.
Maybe they changed seats.
Yeah.
Overton.
The high 20 camera made it look like Greg Sankey.
7 of 7 tonight from the arc. Now 8 of 8. Kevin Overton, 12 points now for the Tigers in 23 minutes. Make that 13 points in 23 minutes of play, and the Auburn fans will come to their feet, sensing the magnitude of this moment in a preseason game. Oklahoma State up 3 with 2 minutes to go. Entry pass, bobbled for just a moment by Fowler. Now Curry loses it, and the rebound goes to Williams-Adams, and here come the Tigers. Pettiford leading the charge. Pettiford gonna pull the strings on a 3 for the tie, and he cannot get it to go, but a whistle on the rebound. And if that is against Fowler, it is number 5 for him.
Boy, if Pettiford hits that shot to tie this thing up, this place explodes.
It's going to be on Crotty.
Is it Crotty? Okay.
It's Crotty. It's his 5th. He's on his way out of the game.
Fowler and Crotty were both playing with 4, but it is Crotty's 5th, so he'll finish with 4 points in his 15 minutes of play.
So the irony is that the guy Fowler doesn't foul out. It's Crotty that's on his way out.
He's 1 away, and that is foul number 30 on Oklahoma State.
Big moment of the game, 1 possession game here. And Pettiford, for a second, I thought we had the big bucket there. It was going to take the roof off this place.
I was hoping Crotty had a big night because we were prepared to label him the Crotty Kid.
That's what I thought you had said earlier in the broadcast.
I did too.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Very early in his Oak State career.
Filip Jovic, the freshman from Bosnia and Herzegovina, shooting free throws, and he makes the first. Not a lot of arc on that one, but it found the bottom of the net. And Jovic is now 3 of 3 from the stripe. He's got 5 in tonight's action. And that one will not fall, but the rebound and the follow by Keyshawn Hall, and it is a tie game. Full court pressure. And here is Coleman. You don't want him in the open court. To the basket. He makes it. It was fouled by Hall.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, once he got the ball in the open court, he wasn't looking to pass that. He was going straight for the rack.
Stephen Pearl is absolutely furious on the Auburn sideline.
What he's talking about is Fala 22 was running a block on Jovic here. And you'll watch the transition going down to the other side. And watch, you got a block going on here. He's got him wrapped up and he's pushing him around, and then you have the collision.
Yeah, that was an obvious off-ball foul right there.
Yes.
Stephen wanted the foul earlier, the wraparound on Fala, who was basically pinning his guy down.
Coleman can't get it to go. Long rebound, though, out to Curry. And now Oklahoma State has a chance to add to their 2-point lead as the clock ticks down closer to 1 minute to play.
Big defense here. Exhibition game, and Pettiford's in here at the end.
Oh, these teams are playing to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here 82-80 with 1:24 left, with all of the fouls and all of the missed shots. But very exciting.
All right, we've got 1:12 to go, and it is a 2-point game. Don't go anywhere. We'll settle this one when we return to the Ball and Inbound, presented by Nike and Hibbett.
Road game for Oklahoma State. Coach Lutz extra calm in the huddle. He's telling his guys, let's just get the basketball in, take care of the ball, secure it with 2 hands, and make sure that we get a good shot.
And they did the exact opposite of that, Mo. And it leads to a turnover, number 19 for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Anthony Roy just lost the basketball going to the rack there, and it goes off the shoe there. So it was a good call.
Hall or Pettiford, one of these guys got to take the shot.
Hall is backing it in. He'll turn around, and he gets it to go through the contact. And it is all tied up at 82 with under a minute to go. The Auburn faithful trying to make it very difficult on Oklahoma State. Here is Roy. He's got 19 tonight. The 3 on the way, and he drains it. What a shot.
Wow.
At a huge time by Anthony Roy.
Guy that loves to shoot it. 43% behind the arc at Green Bay last year.
See if Agent Zero can answer here.
Pettiford dumps it off to Hall. Hall going to drive again. As you said, Jim, it's going to be Pettiford and Hall, and it is Hall, and he's got a chance to tie it up at the strike.
Inside, outside. They collapse on Hall. You kick it to Pettiford. So far, Hall has made it work back-to-back times, and he'll try to tie this up at the free throw line.
What an atmosphere.
And that's Fala out of the game.
It is indeed. Fala done with 4 points in his 16 minutes of play.
Dropping like flies for the Cowboys.
They are down to just the guys that are dressed. They got a lot of guys that did not dress out tonight. Kanye Clary, the transfer out of Mississippi State. We mentioned Christian Coleman, the UAB transfer. Victoria Miller, one of the great names in college basketball, the LSU transfer. And Benjamin Ahmed from Nigeria. None of those guys dressed tonight.
I was hoping we'd talk about Victorious a little bit.
Great name.
LA kid. You know who his uncle is, right?
I do not.
Reggie?
Uncle's Master P.
Boy, we have been way off on the guesses tonight. 85-85. 24 seconds to go. And now we got a timeout. Called by Oklahoma State as they're tied at 85. What do you do here? Do you hold this one for the final shot if you're Oklahoma State?
Yeah. You're on the road in this atmosphere.
On the road, yes.
You got 23.7 on the game clock and the shot clock that's off now. Hey, hold it for one last shot.
Yeah,
Of course,
look,
the downside is if you go to overtime, you're down a lot of players.
That is
Yeah.
a great point.
Well, look, Jalen Curry has been very active this half. Isaiah Coleman, we talk about leading scorer, but Anthony Roy is the guy you want ball in hand with that final shot if I'm Steve Lutz.
Roy is 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3 tonight. He's got the 22 points. Coleman's got 26 for them.
I think you're either looking at Coleman, a look to take it to the basket, or you're looking at something on the perimeter from Roy. But I would be really surprised if it's not one of those two.
And if you get the shot from the perimeter, take it with enough time that somebody can crash the board and maybe get the follow. But I'm like you, Roy or Coleman, that's who I want to see with the ball in the hand if I am Oklahoma State fan. Roy. Off to Curry. Here is Coleman, now Curry. With 10 seconds to go. Gets the screen. Auburn extends the defense. Roy wanted to shoot the three, couldn't get it off. Ball knocked away. Curry chases into the backcourt. That will not count. It does not go. And we are going to overtime.
Stephen Pearl with a smile there because he loved the effort from his defense there. They had a design play coming out. Steve Lutz wanted to get this backdoor cut, was working it on the corners. Stephen Pearl's design defense answered the call time and time again. They get the stop, almost had a steal going the other way for the game winner. We go to OT.
We'll have the OT when we return. More preseason basketball, 85 all after regulation. Free basketball on the way at Ballin and Boutwell.
They use that to their advantage.
Yeah, Jim brought that up. 3 Oklahoma State Cowboys already out of the game.
And 2 Auburn players playing with 4 fouls. Pettiford one of those and Hall the other. And they have been the stalwarts down the stretch here for Auburn. Hall with 21 in regulation. Pettiford had 14.
Other than Murphy, it's your starting lineup. Sebastian Williams-Adams is in place of Murphy, or it's your starting 5 for Auburn. Exhibition play.
3 on the way and nothing but nylon for Roy. 22 points.
Yeah, I'm going to be really shocked if Anthony Roy's not a 20-point-plus scorer this year for Oklahoma State.
I think they've got 2 of those, Lance,
Yeah,
with
possibly
Coleman
so
as
with
well.
Coleman, yeah.
Here is Hall playing with 4 fouls, trying to back him in. Can't do it, so he kicks it out to Freeman. Freeman drives in the paint, can't get the runner to go.
Just too hard.
And there is Roy. Or excuse me, that is Curry, Jalen Curry. And he's going to take it all the way himself and gets the floater to go. What an answer by Oklahoma State here to start overtime.
Yeah, and again, this Oklahoma State backcourt, when you look at Curry, you look at Roy, you look at what you've got with Coleman, these guys are electric. I know Freeman missed that last shot, but I like how he settled in.
Pettiford no good.
Shot will not go. And Oklahoma State content now just to run some offensive sets here and let this clock burn.
Pettiford 3 of 14 tonight.
Yeah, you're not going to get that most nights with Tahaad Pettiford.
Here is Roy trying to drive on Overton. Settles for the long distance shot, cannot go, and Williams-Adams pulls down the board. And now Hall going to take it all the way himself. He can't get it to fall. Roy goes crashing to the floor, and he is still down on the court. He hit the court hard and appears to be in a little bit of pain. I think he might have landed on his left shoulder.
Went for the block and did not get a chance to put his arms down for any support at all.
Yeah, I was shocked with that kind of activity that we didn't get a foul. I know there was no contact between players there, but Roy goes down hard. And if you're Oklahoma State and you're Steve Lutz, that's something you don't want to see, because this is a kid that only played 7 games last year for Green Bay with a season-ending injury.
Here's another look as you said he was going after the block and just really didn't get a chance to brace himself.
Yeah,
Right shoulder, yeah.
Right hip.
Yeah, I hit like that, I would turn to dust.
Yeah, you and I both. By the way, this is a guy in a preseason game that has played 39 minutes. So Anthony Roy.
I don't want to tell Steve Lutz how to coach. I think you know what you've got in Anthony Roy, though.
I've seen enough of Roy and Coleman.
Yeah, he's touching his rib area.
Yeah.
There's his shot, and he's had it tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's a heck of a player, Roy is. He'll leave the game here. Yeah, Coleman has played 33 minutes. Roy has played 39. I've seen enough of those two to know they will be a handful in the Big 12.
Post-game meal tastes better, though, if you can get a W.
There's no doubt you want to see the competitive nature of your team here. Up 5 with 2:50 to go. That is Coleman, who we're talking about as well. Almost lost it off the front of the rim, and now here comes Pettiford for the Tigers.
Good defense from Hall there.
Tahaad Pettiford fouled on his way to the basket.
That's where Pettiford's
that is
been.
Kurt Cole who picks up the foul.
That's where he's been great tonight. He hasn't made his field goals, 3 of 15, but he's gotten to the free throw line where he has been perfect, 7 of 7.
Yeah, and Kurt Cole coming in and automatically picks up a foul, but pretty good foul right there. Cutting Pettiford off from an easy 2.
And now Pettiford a chance to score with the clock not moving. His team up, or down 5, and he can't get the free throw to go. That is the first missed free throw tonight for Tahaad Pettiford, who prior to that was 7 of 7 from the stripe. He's got 14 points and 4 boards in 27 minutes of action.
Surely they don't have to shoot free throws tomorrow at practice. That's their 46th free throw attempt.
Well, Pettiford just missed 2 straight, his first 2 misses of the night at a critical time.
Yeah, could not buy a basket from anywhere.
His team down 5 and a chance to score with the clock not moving, and he couldn't do it.
46 free throws, 69% Auburn in this game. That'll be a stat that'll haunt you.
Yeah, Stephen Pearl would like to see a much better effort from the stripe than that. That 3 won't fall, and here comes Hall again. Boy, he's been active, and he'll get fouled on his way to the basket and have a chance for the and 1.
Yeah,
Keeps
really
you in the game.
not good contact from Oklahoma State right there. 2 defenders to Hall's 1, and gets the and 1.
That foul will go against
Coleman. That's
Isaiah
his 4th.
Coleman, which is number 4 for him. So here is Hall at the stripe tonight. Now 8 of 12. And a quick timeout for Stephen Pearl to talk things over as his team now trails only by 2. 2:08 to go in overtime. And what has been a highly entertaining basketball game here in preseason action. This is Ballin' and Boutwell, presented by Hibbett and Nike. Along with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, and UAB great Mo Finley, I'm Ryan Brown. We have had a very entertaining night here at Ballin' and Boutwell, and it is not the final night of action. The Alabama Crimson Tide in action here tomorrow night as they take on the Florida State Seminoles in another preseason game. You can watch that game the same exact place you're watching this one, the Hibbett YouTube channel. And we'll have that game for you just after 7 o'clock Central Time. The tip here at Boutwell Auditorium. Lance has mentioned a couple of times that we experienced this, Lance, last year when Alabama played Wake Forest. The atmosphere here is not the atmosphere of a sleepy preseason game. This has regular season feels to it.
You know, when we were talking about our friend Ron Slay from the SEC Network today, and he was telling us old stories from playing overseas, and I can only imagine an atmosphere like this.
Yeah,
right on top of you. And a lot of these Oklahoma State guys, these international guys, have played in those atmospheres before. You know, this is interesting because we are in a 1-possession game with 2:08 to go. If this thing goes to a double overtime with Oklahoma State, the bodies that are dropping over there.
You wouldn't want to do this to the crowd, but I am really not certain the coaches would desire a double overtime here. They might just agree to walk this thing off and go to practice tomorrow.
I just don't think they're going to do it. These are 2 young, energetic coaches.
I know. I hate to do it to the fans, but boy, at this time of year, to play a double overtime would be a lot.
Stephen Pearl said it's been like he's drinking out of a fire hose since he got this job. He's probably not even thinking about the other bench right now and what he cares about.
Here is Curry getting the screen from Coleman. Curry working against Hall, now back to Coleman. This guy has been amazing tonight. Coleman has got 26 points, and now he's got 28. What a night for Isaiah Coleman. This guy has played a heck of a game.
Yeah, and unbelievable. I mean, you know he's going to the basket. Like, he's not taking any perimeter shots. Everything is pushing it right to the rack.
Hall thought about the three. He's playing with 4 fouls, and he gets fouled on his way to the basket. That is going to be Vukovic. And Vukovic picks up his 3rd personal foul. And the one thing you do not want is Auburn trying to score with the clock stopped, and they're about to get the chance to do that.
Look at where Coleman's been scoring his points tonight.
All drives.
Yeah, getting into that sweet spot in there, and he's been making them drop tonight, doing a good job for the Cowboys. 9 of 15 on that shot chart.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of a comp for a guy like Coleman to play guard. You know, the 2 shots that he did miss, one outside of 15 feet, one from the stripe, and then one from the corner 3. But again, defensively, you kind of know what this guy's going to do, but it's just so hard to defend because he's so quick.
Not the biggest guy in the world. I mean, he's 6'5", 200, not small by any stretch.
2-point game. This crowd stands up. They want their defense to do something.
123. Coleman has been the guy that has touched it just about every trip. This is Roy. Stephen Pearl urging on his Tigers to play defense. The Auburn crowd getting behind them as well. Roy directing traffic. Now he's picked up by Williams-Adams, who's had a tremendous game defensively. Roy trying to lose him. Won't go on the front of the iron, and here comes Overton with it for the Tigers.
1 minute.
Overton gonna float one off the glass, and he ties it at 92. And the Tigers gonna go to full court pressure. I think Steve Lutz wants a timeout if they can get it across the midcourt stripe. Now he's gonna let his guys play.
Auburn backs out too.
Auburn ended regulation with a tremendous defensive stand. Can they do it again? And now Lutz, I think wisely, is going to call a timeout and let his team regroup.
Yeah, Auburn fortunate they didn't get the contact there on Curry. I thought that was maybe. They could have called a foul there.
May have gotten a timeout first before the contact happened. That offensive set was not there for Oklahoma State. That's why he called the timeout. With 15 on the shot clock and the spacing and the play, that nobody was on the same page.
What a runner by Kevin Overton at a big moment in this game.
It really was. I mean, quietly, Overton has had a hell of a game.
Yeah, Overton with 15 points, Lance, to your point, in 30 minutes of play tonight. 8 of 8 from the stripe, so he's been perfect there. 15 and 5 in tonight's action.
But just think of what he did last night. He was a contributor on a team that went to the Elite 8. So he brings that winning prestige, that winning DNA that Auburn maybe lost of the Final Four team to come here and win games like this. He made big plays.
School night here in Birmingham, but a lot of kids hanging around, hoping to see a big finish for their Auburn Tigers. Few Oklahoma State fans peppered into this crowd too. They're hard to pick out. Everybody wearing orange.
15 on the shot clock.
So here comes Jalen Curry with that 15 and the clock moving. Roy, NBA 3. He drains it. What a shot by Anthony Roy.
And Auburn's Overton just shakes his head like, you gotta be kidding.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, that was 27 feet out.
And Pettiford trying to answer. He gets to the ball. 16.4. The Tigers gonna go full court pressure. Here comes Curry. Again, working against Overton. He loses Overton. Nice move to the rack by Curry. 8.3, the Tigers.
Curry so
got a chance
active.
here. Overton almost throws it away. Pettiford, and now Stephen Pearl is going to use the timeout.
Pettiford was going to take a 40-footer there.
Oh, he was thinking about it for sure.
And back to your point, and Jim, I'll let you get to it, but with 2.5, you know they're going to take a 3 here.
You know they're going to take their 3. If I'm Stephen Pearl's staff here, I'm saying put a little time back on. I thought that timeout was like 3.1. Maybe they'll look at that and add a second back on the clock here.
It does appear they might be walking to the monitor here in overtime for a review.
Aren't we the monitor? No, it's on that side.
I really don't think we can overstate. First of all, how fantastic this game has been. But Anthony Roy, in his first action for Oklahoma State, my gosh.
Look how far those blue O's are. I mean, those are bombs he's making.
Yeah. Again, I know we're getting.
Here he is, Lance, from beyond the arc.
Guy that averaged 25.7 was leading the nation, leading college basketball in scoring through 7 games, and then goes down for Green Bay, and now he signs with Oklahoma State. And what a find for Steve Lutz.
All right, what has Stephen Pearl and Mike Burgermaster, his offensive coach, drawn up in this timeout?
What do you want to see?
2.8 to go, and Steve Lutz wants to see a little more timeout.
Okay, here's what Steve Lutz saw. He saw Pettiford was going to do the inbound pass. What do you see with 2.8? I inbound it, you give it right back to me, I take my shot to win the game.
Well, I don't know who else. You know, if you were playing for the tie here, I think Elijah Freeman would be a nice option the way Overton's playing. But if you are going to take for the walk-off 3 here, I think it's got to be Pettiford. Boy, Steve Lutz knows that.
It continues to amaze me. We're watching preseason basketball here. This has got such a tremendous feel.
Winner moves on in the bracket for the Sweet 16, right?
I mean, it has got a regular season feel, there's no doubt.
I will tell you, best October basketball game I've ever seen.
I think I'd have to agree with you. 97-95. The Oklahoma State lead as we exit this timeout. You look in the huddle with Steve Lutz and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They are playing a bunch of guys down. They've had 3 guys foul out.
You know, I know it's tough to get a gauge in exhibition action when you've got all these new faces and new rosters, but I've been impressed with both of these teams. A lot of missed shots, but you can see the potential of some of the scorers out here.
So for the Auburn Tigers, Pettiford looks like he's going to trigger it in again. You've got Overton out there along with Keyshawn Hall. Freeman is there. And Sebastian Williams-Adams also on the floor. 2.8 to go. What has Stephen Pearl drawn up in this huddle? Pettiford will inbound right in front of his head coach.
We'll be shocked if Pettiford doesn't take this shot.
Pettiford inbounds it to Freeman, the runner.